All failing. This one is just absolutely crazy.
So here we go again. The president saying that Speaker Nancy Pelosi has done a tremendous disservice to this country, created a phony witch hunt, ongoing impeachment inquiry that knows no end. We've got Fox News anchor, my friend, the best-selling author, Greg Jarrett. He's out with a new book, incredibly well-researched witch hunt, the story of the greatest mass delusion in American political history. Good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you. A lot of yellow Post-it notes throughout my book.
Well, it's a great book, and I noticed just the detail and the footnotes, endnotes, and you're exhaustive about it.
Thank you.
But the premise being pretty much it was a witch hunt with that one. This new thing with the Ukraine, it continues.
Yeah, I think so. And what's offensive about the current one is that there's a complete deprivation of rights, of due process, secret hearings, witness intimidation. This is the sort of thing that's really anathema to our constitutional principles that we cherish, fairness. And it is being trampled on here in the most recent, I think, version of the witch hunt.
Now, a lot of it you blame just on the media in general. You said therein lies a serious problem. Journalists or hosts who are not schooled in the law felt no reticence in drawing conclusions on air about criminal conduct without having the requisite education, proficiency, or experience in the law. In other words, they just, shot from the hip. They were lazy.
Yeah. Look, the facts, the evidence, and the law is available to them, but none of them wanted to bother because they were driven by two things, hatred and bias. Hatred of the president and a liberal bias that I think influences the way they pick stories and the way they tell those very stories.
Now, the president calls that fake news, but he's gone back and forth on
Listen,
stuff,
if you if people read Chapter 6 entitled The Media Witch Hunt, 54 pages of grossly reckless conduct and media malpractice on almost a daily basis. I name the journalists. I name,
yes, you do.
Identify the stories
leave that out. Just but do you say that the president doesn't sometimes confuse people? He says something and then says something else. Yeah, I don't know what's fake or real.
This is not confusion. These are reporters who were more than willing to accept intelligence leaks that they just assumed.
No, I get all that. Greg. I get all that, and you well research and document with great detail, and it's impressive. But do you fault the president for anything?
Well, the president, I suppose, bears blame, as he will tell you, for appointing Jeff Sessions and
but simple stuff for saying, I never sent payments to, a former porn star when he did, or
to who?
To back and forth on payments to people and individuals, many things. Do you think he's misrepresented himself?
Well, I don't know what payments you're talking about, but
Stormy Daniels.
No, the question wasn't what the president did. It's actually what he didn't do, and the media.
No. He said he didn't do that.
Oh, to Stormy Daniels, you're talking about.
Of one of many. I'm not saying, believe me, you're quite right to say the media, when the president is concerned, the media has a thing against. He's quite right about that. They pile up on it. But does he do anything to contribute it?
Oh, he probably does to some extent.
So in the Ukraine situation, when you look at that, now you're the lawyer, I don't know what is considered to be a high crime and misdemeanor, might not fit the case here. Is it proper for a sitting president of the United States to talk to a foreign leader about involving himself in a campaign that...
Well, you're assuming he was doing it to influence the forthcoming campaign.
No, but he's doing it about a candidate who could be opposing him in that campaign.
Again, you're guessing.
No, just that. That's what would have happened. That would have been what happened.
If the president has reason to believe that a public office holder has conferred a benefit on a foreign government in exchange for something of personal value, that's a crime. It's a violation of the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. It's incumbent upon the president to say, hey, Ukraine, look into this. We have reason to believe you have evidence. If you find it, turn it over to us. We have a treaty with that country that
it doesn't
makes
I know
them
you're
do
a great lawyer, Greg, but does it not just look weird to you that he just survived the whole Mueller investigation and accusations that he was, working with the Russians to fix it, which is proven untrue. Yet once again, he potentially involves a leader of a sovereign nation in another U.S. election.
We spent 2.5 years looking into Russian meddling. As I explain in the book, there was actually Ukrainian collusion involving the Democratic National Committee and Hillary Clinton.
Nothing in that phone call, nothing in the transcript of that phone call would dissuade you to view that at the very least it was improper.
No, it's not improper to ask them to help William Barr in his ongoing official Department of Justice
About a guy who could
investigation.
challenge you for the presidency.
Now, as to Joe Biden, I would say again, he has every right to say, if you have evidence of corruption, please turn it over. And you got Joe Biden on videotape bragging about a clear quid pro quo.
I'm not denying any of that. Does it look bad to you?
Oh, it looks bad to Democrats. It looks bad
Nothing
to
looks
the media.
bad to the president.
Doesn't look bad to me.
So
No.
in all of this,
There is
nothing the president did.
wrong with the Department of Justice looked at that conversation and said there is no crime, no campaign
We shall
finance
see.
violations.
All right. I'm going to have him back.
No,
I'll
you
do it now.
won't.
Yes, I will.
Cologuard, colon cancer screening for people